Yeah, that's Delaware Major Kamwana and Veril Mkaliwao playing to right here on Baze Radio. Good morning and welcome to Baze Weekend with me, Mr. Billy, a show that comes your way on your way or on your airwaves each and every Saturday from 8 a.m. until 10 a.m. And Manze, today we're just looking at some of the stories that make headlines throughout the weekend. One of the stories that the biggest story is that President Ruto amefire all the cabinet ministers except for the prime cabinet minister, Mr. Musalia Mudavadi, who also serves as the minister for foreign affairs. So all the other guys waliambia, you pack your things and go. And this is because some of the demonstrators during the anti-government protest walikuwa wakisema some of these CSs, they are incompetent. So you find Mseaja Somea anything to do with infrastructure, but he or she is the head of like lands, he is the head of roads and other infrastructure. So you ask yourself, how does this guy knows what happens in this field if he himself had experienced the education or the basic knowledge to run such an institution? And of course the president alikuwa akisema it's all about leadership. It's not all about the skills that these guys have in terms of the education in school. But people tend to say no. And this follows or it becomes the second time in the history of Kenya whereby a president decides to sack all or dissolve all his of his ministers when it comes to the cabinet. And the first time it happened in 2005 whereby President Kibaki he decided to sack the entire CS of the government after a national referendum. Remember, the referendum ilikuwa either to have a new referendum or not, and ilibaki imeshinda, and a lot of people voted yes for that referendum, and the president had no choice but to sack all the ministers back then. And then this time imekuwa due to the pressure that imekuwa happen, the Gen Zs ndio wamekuwa lead the demonstration ambayo imefanya Mr. Ruto to say, you know what, I don't need all these ministers now, I need a fresh ministry for me to choose from. And we are here to see how he's going to do that. Right about now, wacha tubembe kidogo by Ali B, because najua si wengi sasa wanabembea na furaha. We're looking at some of the reactions from people reacting to President Ruto aki dissolve his cabinet. Sisi ni wale, that is from Fina all the way from Tanzania, kitufikisha 22 minutes past 8 a.m. Good morning and welcome back to the Baze Weekend right here on bazeradio.co.ke. They call me Mr. Billy and I'm on your airwaves until 10 a.m. where I'm going to serve you nothing but great vibes, and we're going to have some of the greatest conversations ever. And one of the biggest conversations that still it's shocking the world is the fact that the president decided to dissolve the whole of his cabinet. And a lot of guys, they are reacting to this, content creators, so wamepata pool of creating content. But before we look into different people are reacting to the dissolution of the cabinet, we have to understand tumekuwa na cabinet ministers wangapi. So in a normal setting or in the government yenye imekuwa or yenye iko sahi, we had a total of 21 ministers, yeah? And averagely inafaa kuwa 20, but the president introduced the poll ya prime cabinet, which is headed by Musalia Mudavadi, and also he serves as the Minister for Foreign Affairs. So we have the one tukona Interior and National Administration, 2 tukona National Treasury, 3 tukona Public Service, Gender, Affirmative Action, 4 tukona Defense, 5 tukona Water, Sanitation and Irrigation, 6 tukona Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, which is being headed by Musalia Mudavadi mwenye amebaki peke yake from the others. So 7 tukona Trade, Investment and Industry, 8 tukona East African Community, 9 tukona Roads, Transport and Public Works, 10 tukona Environment and Forestry, 11 Lands, Housing and Urban Development, 12 tukona Tourism, Wildlife and Heritage, 13 tukona Agriculture and Livestock Development, 14 tukona Education, Energy and Petroleum, 15 tukona Youth Affairs, Sports and the Arts, 16 tukona Cooperatives and Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises Development, 17 Mining, Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs, 18 tukona Labor and Social Protection, 19 tukona Information, Communication and Digital Economy, then 20 tukona Health. So all these guys imebaki wameenda home. So we are here to see again majina gani president propose for the new cabinet, so everybody is looking out on that. But the word is that the people of Kenya want guys who are competent, guys who understand different industries, and guys who are not how can I say, and guys who are not corrupt. You know, recently Murkomen alikuwa akisema saa yake sijui ni 9 million, mshipi ni 50,000, sijui kiatu ni 80,000, and you see all these things, they run down to the money that wanapata from different jobs yenye wako nazo. And as a country, everybody is looking, man. So if you brag how you own things, even if you bought them with your own money, at the end of the day, it boils down to you are in a government position. And if you are there, people will just say is the money that you've been using. The money that you bought your things with is the money that is meant to help different ministries. So we're looking at how different people are reacting to that. So next up, wacha tusikize Doorstep from Ben Sol featuring Zero Sufuri, before tusikize Inakubalika from Matata and Watendawili, which is one of the bangers of 2024. I don't know if it's gonna make it to the list of the greatest songs released in 2024. Keep it Baze Radio. Good morning. Matata there featuring Watendawili with Inakubalika. To me, this is one of the biggest bang of 2024. You know, we have plenty of them to choose from. Tukona ile Stupid Boy featuring Daloyoyo and many more. But Inakubalika playing through right here on bazeradio.co.ke. Welcome back to Baze Weekend with me, Mr. Billy. You can listen to me or you can listen to Baze Radio via our website, that is www.bazeradio.co.ke, or via my Safaricom app. And in a few, I'll be telling you how you can win yourself 5 million Kenya shillings. Manzi, imagine with this economy and everything that is happening, you win 5 million Kenya shillings. Inaweza kuwa ni boost flani. And as I said yesterday, if you listened to the show yesterday, nilikuwa nasema we are into the third quarter of the year, and some of the goals and dreams that tulikuwa tumeset at the beginning of the year, how far are you with them? So imagine 5 million shillings is going to boost those dreams and those goals that you had set at the beginning of the year. Hapo unaweza pata gari, you can buy a house from there, you can buy a land from there, you can open a business from there. If at all those were the New Year resolutions as zenye ulikuwa umeandika at the beginning of the year. But right about now, let's continue unpacking the fact that the president on Thursday dissolved the cabinet. Alibaki amefuta kila mtu except for Musalia Mudavadi, ambaye ni the cabinet for foreign and diaspora affairs, and also serves as the prime also pia ni prime CS. So all the discussions because go around and people have started to unpack, and one of the biggest losers of this revolution, of this change, zimekuwa narrowed down to like 5 guys, and one ilikuwa Moses Kuria, that is from trade investment, and then 2 from trade investment and industry, so alikuwa CS wa trade investment and industry. Then 2 tukakuwa na transport, roads and public works, headed by Kipchumba Murkomen, of which amekuwa kwa spotlight for the longest time. Then 3 health, which was headed by Susan Nakumicha. We had the strike medical practitioners wakisema we need better work environments, we signed an MOU, we need the government to act on it. Tukakuwa na East Africa, Eastern Africa Community, that is arid and semi-arid lands and regional development, which was headed by Penina Malonza. Hii alianza tu from the word go, from her appointment, her education and what is going to do, ilikuwa on the spotlight. Then youth affairs, sports and arts, Ababu na Mwamba pia amekuwa on the spotlight, and he's one of the biggest losers according to what people are saying in terms of who was incompetent, who was not performing in the cabinet of President Ruto. So next up, wacha tusikize Yolo from Shiba, all the way from Uganda. A lot of people say wanasema yes, Yolo, they are celebrating this announcement. So next up tukirudi itakuwa Emba from Mandi featuring Metro Superdoba. Good morning and keep it Baze. That is Emba Mandi Kabaya featuring Metro Sukadoba, ikitufikisha 41 minutes past 8 a.m. If you're joining it about now, remember you can interact with me on the number 0716250933. That's my WhatsApp number right in studio. Tell me, how's your weekend coming along? They call me Mr. Billy, and I'm on your airwaves on Baze Weekend from 8 a.m. each and every Saturday until 10 a.m. But it's nothing but great vibes, man. We just vibe and enjoy each other. Then, of course, the Olympics is on the 26th of this month in Paris, and Ababu Namwamba all was on the spotlight even before him being dismissed from the cabinet. And one of the reasons why alikuwa anaulizwa, can you make the list of people who are going to Paris equal a public list so that everybody can see who is going and who's not going, other than just the athletes who are eligible to perform or to participate in the games. Who else is supposed to go on that tour? So people are yet waiting to see that list. I don't know if the list itakuwa released after amekuwa dismissed from the cabinet, but we are yet to see who is going to that, Olympic Games. In recent years, we've had people who just go to joyride. Unapata athletes that are not living their best life in terms of accommodation, food, and other stuff when they go to represent the country in these games, but rather the people who accompany them, like the CSS. You realize some CSS wanaenda huko, unapata mseni wa lands ama mseni wa tourism ama agriculture, but ameenda Olympic Games. Then you ask yourself, ameenda kufanya nini Olympic Games? So Ombachi amekuwa push sana for that list to be a public list, but we haven't seen the list. We hope that list will come through so that we know nani anaenda. And then one of the most disappointing thing amongst the Kenyan people is that the uniform or the kit that these guys are going to wear, man. Have you seen the designs of those uniforms was Olympics or wanavaa, man? They look, I don't know how I can say that. So just go online, there's the kits there, and let me know on 0716250933 if that kit is good enough for us as a country to wear it while representing the country in terms of the Olympic Games, which ambazo zitakuwa zinaanza in like 2 weeks time. But good news that I'm going to tell you in a few is that you can win a trip to Paris to go and experience this Olympic Games, you and your companion. That in the next few, but right about now, Manipulate from Kala Moto featuring Othello Max. Good morning. My Reason, Habida featuring Cannibal, 49 minutes past 8 a.m. Welcome back to Baze Weekend right here on baze.co.ke with me, Mr. Billy. Make sure that I serve you nothing but great vibes each and every morning. The weather is a little bit chilly, but you know what? The music that is lined up here is just meant to make sure that you have a good morning. Tuko na Salio from Mones, tuko na Bien ako kwa playlist, tuko na Otile Brown, Harmonize, tuko na Wanita, tuko na Mbogi ya Madenge. So all these are yet to come. Barabo na Salio from Mones, Kenya. So when we come back, tutakuwa into the next hour. So keep it Baze Radio. Good morning. Photocopy from Wanita kicking off the second hour for us. Good morning and welcome to Baze Weekend right here on baze.co.ke with me, Mr. Billy. Make sure that I serve you nothing but great vibes as you kickstart your morning. Jeff nakuwa una come through, unasema good morning Mr. Billy. Weather iko chilly but tuko ndani kama kawaida. Of course, Jeff, big shout out to you. Stan nakuwa napo hivyo, Fred nakuwa napo. Thank you so much for tuning in. Claire, I see you. Thank you so much. And Jemo pia nakuwa napo hivyo. Thank you so much. This hour we are going to look at some of the events that are happening around you despite the weather being, ikiwa chili hivi. But you know what? One thing that Nairobians love to ni kupiga sherehe. So ndakuwa kuhook up with some of the events that is gonna happen around you because it looks like 14 degrees or it feels like 14 degrees as Celsius. That's the weather for today. But as we progress on during the day, tuta hit the highest ya 23 hapo, and then kuna 5 chances of raining ikifika hapo 12, but the rest of the day it's gonna be sunny tukiendelea hivyo. So I have plenty of new music also to play for you. I have 2 mashups of 5 songs that were released during the week, so it's all brand new songs. And again, I'll be telling you how you can win yourself 5 million Kenya shillings courtesy of Safaricom. Again, ile trip yetu ya Paris pia, it's possible, and this is through Safaricom with the partnership they have with the National Olympic Committee of Kenya and the Visa card. So right about now, wacha tusikize Mbogi ya Madenge, and then we'll come back with inaitwa pesa para, ama ni pesa pasa, ama ni pasa pasa, ama ni pesa pesa. I'm in the mood to get money because 5 million Kenya shillings ziko on the verge. So Mbogi ya Madenge, Kagwe Mungai featuring Benzema playing now. Good morning. Yeah, Dollar Tariq with the Pasa Pasa. Kitufikisha 10 minutes past 9 a.m. Good morning and welcome back to Baze Weekend right here on bazeradio.co.ke, or you can listen to us via my Safaricom app or 716250933. That's my WhatsApp number right here in studio. Hala at me. Niambie unasikia aje, unafeel aje. How's the going? Iko namna gani? Jo imechomoza ama bado? But right about now, let's look at something, because I told you the biggest story that is trending right about now, even worldwide, is the fact that the president aliamua could dissolve the cabinet. So after dissolution of the cabinet, or rather the CSS walikuwa relieved of their duties, the Salary and Remuneration Commission, that is SRC, released a guideline on how these guys are going to be compensated. So imagine all the CSS, they are going to walk away with a whooping 2.45 million Kenya shillings, right? Hii ni kama tu kuambia wase manze poleni. So the guideline is always as this. So CRC regulations states that a relieved CS will get a gratitude of 31% of their basic salary for every year served, an amount that is subject to tax of up to 30%. So I'm reading this ndio you understand vizuri. So for their first financial year in office between November 2022 and June 2023, that is 8 months, each of the 22 ex-CSS will receive a gross gratitude of 1.37 million, which reduces to 962,000 after tax. In the subsequent time between July 2023 and June 2024, each of the dismissed officials will receive a gross gratitude of 2.14 million, which reduces to 1.49 million after tax. Therefore, after tax, each CS will receive at least 2.4 million for serving in Kenya Kwanza cabinet for 21 months. So mwananchi atapata away with around 54 million from mfuko ya mwananchi, just to make sure that wana receive that gratitude ya kuambia manze it's been true. Peace. Next up, tusikize Kamata Dem. When we come back, tutakuwa tunakamata some of the events zenye zina happen around Nairobi, so that usikae kwa nyumba kama bulb na usiboeke. Then when we come back, tutakuwa ni Bahati DK kwenye beat, mambo mama watoto ama mambo ya watoto, or rather it's called mama watoto. Kwa mama watoto mwambie wimbo wako inakuja next. So keep it Baze Radio. Good morning. Always love that verse at chakula ya kuiba ni tamu kikulia kwa lojo. I don't know what's the perspective towards that, but nevertheless, it's Kudonjo Kudunda 00 featuring Bridal W, Tipsy G and Kushman. Pidiwa Magenge playing through right here on bazeradio.co.ke. Good morning and welcome to the Baze Weekend with me, Mr. Billy, serving you nothing but great vibes each and every morning as I wake you up. So we are edging towards the end of the show. So next up, tutakuwa nasikiza mashup of the brand new songs that were released during the week. So next up, tuingie Tanzania kidogo, tuseme Zuena, because tuna Zuena tukizuena tukisherekea shere pole bana. So now we are looking at some of the brand new songs that were released during the week right here on Baze Weekend on bazeradio.co.ke. So the first mashup iko na Conquer, that's from LC Wameyo featuring Yawa Tajiri. So playing right about now in the background, we have Dimba Refix from Goditena featuring Soundcraft. Then next tutasikiza Kenya from YTK KE featuring Ebi Shiski. Then tutakuwa na Lapro from Ethic Entertainment. Then Me Like You from Clones, Melody and LA Vibe. So that's the first set of the 5 brand new songs that were released during the week. So when we come back, we'll be looking at the second set. Good morning and keep it Baze Radio. That is the first mashup ikimalizika in that design, and the song that inatufungia the first mashup is called Me Like You, that is from Clones, Melody and LA Vibes, bringing us to exactly 50 minutes past 9 a.m. So I'm stepping outside the building, but I'm going to leave in the able hands of Miss Wakesh, who's going to take you through the link up show. Then the campus takeover team will be coming through from 12 until 2, whereby it's going to be vibes. Kama mtu unapenda mshene ya campus, so stay tuned for that. Don't touch that dial. But next up tuko tunaangalia the second mashup of the brand new songs that were released during the week. But before we do that, let me give a few shoutouts to the guys that walianza show na mimi. Mary, thank you so much for tuning in. Yvonne, thank you so much for tuning in. Jeff, always a fan, thank you so much for tuning in. And not forgetting the big man himself, Big Mac, thank you so much for listening in. Anasema Mr. Billy, pesa zangu naekelea kwa England, lazima tu we must be seen bwana. Big Mac, you'll be surprised. So the second mashup, it has Ni Wewe Bwana, that is from Singer Miles and Ogade Top. Then tuko na Pombe from Magic's Enga featuring X-Ray Taniwa. Then Ukipewa Perform from Unspoken Salaton featuring Father Mom, Fidel Riad and Harry Craze. Then tuko na Vuma ya Double Trouble, Young NC and Saru. Then the last song on the second mashup ni ya Wasoro, that's from Shonodini and Mauru Gwash. So hivyo ndio niliamua ni wapambe this weekend, because these are some of the brand new songs that were released during the week. So make sure that you keep it Baze Radio, because most of these songs or all of these songs will be playing on rotation on Baze Radio, because we support the culture of new music in Kenya. Remember, we are all about 254. That's why we are 254 to the core. So thank you so much for tuning in. The weather bado iko chili kiasi, but you know, it's gonna pick up in the course of the days, and the traffic in Nairobi or any part of the country iko fresh. So kama uko na business yoyote ya attend to, it's gonna be clean. So all the way, what we do towards the end of each and every show, we raise our glasses up and then we say cheers to a successful show, and we thank God for making it successful. See you